It's true. It is freaking true. That's right, guys. You saw by the thumbnail, you saw by the title, your boy Flawless made a trade today. Your boy Flawless made a trade today. Oh my gosh. I thought you hated trades, Flawless. But this doesn't make sense. Is the world coming to an end? Can't wait to get into it. But thanks, guys, for checking me out. You're back with another episode of Flawless Fantasy Football. We in the house. Not only we in the house, we outside, baby. We outside. Man, I'm excited over the the awesome game Gainwell had last night. I could have had Gainwell and Dotson and still not got close. I had so many players on my team with ones yesterday. With ones. Gainwell, freaking Tunyon. So many ones are on my freaking squad, you'd think it was a freaking strip club in Atlanta with a bunch of booty shaking around. That's how many ones were on my squad. Making it freaking rain. What's up, guys? Let's get right into it. Action-packed show. I'm going to try to keep it nice and precise for you guys, all right? Look, I'm still getting, in the new spot, getting everything situated, so I don't have all the decor up. So but I did want to touch bases with you guys face to face outside, just throwing a little emblem in there. You're hearing me run my mouth. All right. So let's get to it, man. Let's talk about the trade real quick. Some things went down in the league, as far as getting and all that type of nonsense. And that's neither here nor there. That's not, this is a waiver show. So, but let's talk about your boy Flawless was traded. Now, some of you guys is gonna be like, oh, because when not only that I trade, so I had to think, man. I was like, man, this team is close. Both of my teams are close. Even though I had a loss, I learned some things about that team moving forward. So I believe I can run the table if I can get by this week. So, but check this out, guys. I was like, am I going postal league? I'm not going to tell you the results of what happened. I'll wait till the accountability show. Well, screw it. Okay, I won. All right, not going to tell you the details, though. I submitted this trade to this guy. So not only did I trade, I initiated the trade. Oh, my gosh. People's heads are exploding. You guys, I can see you guys' heads are freaking exploding. Like, what the hell? I thought maybe someone gave him an offer he couldn't refuse. No. So I'm sitting back, working, knocking up a route, thinking about this team. I play the guy that I'm tied with first place, and he has more points than me. So yes, your boys moved back up from that 3-game loss, going 5-0 to 5-3. Yeah, your boy back tied for first place. So, in which I was tied for, it was a 4-way tie last week, but now it's only a 2-way tie. So I play him this week. That has nothing to really do with it, just me solidifying my team, because this trade won't even affect it really. But I just want to talk about my team there. Well, okay. After my draft, and of course, I took Jonathan Taylor #1 overall. Now, granted, I talk about how you don't need to take Jonathan Taylor #1 overall just because this and that, because it's anybody #1 overall because the consensus says so. I drafted him at #1 because I like Jonathan Taylor. I birthed Jonathan Taylor. Drafted him at the 502. I had him each one of his years in either one of my leagues that I had Jonathan Taylor each year. So I personally love Jonathan Taylor. So it wasn't like consensus was telling me to pick him. But nevertheless, I had Jonathan Taylor and I got Dameon Pierce. Now, outside of that, I have no running back depth. Zero. I picked up the guy for Denver that came over to Latavius Murray, picked him up for a week or two, dropped him. And, ever since old boy, Glass Boy, got hurt for Seattle running back, Penny. Ever since Penny got hurt, because he was my running back 3. He was doing fine, But ever since he got hurt, I was like doomed at that spot, So I was putting wide receivers in my flex. And this is a standard league, so it's not really that beneficial, in my opinion. But I'm like, here's the wide receivers, that's the running backs that are on my team in the actual going postal league. Jonathan Taylor, Damian Pierce, right? After that, I have two more running backs on roster. Deion Jackson, which is the backup, and Alexander Madison. That's not going to help me. That's not going to help me. So I was like, man. So I got a crazy amount of wide receivers. Now, granted, Mike Williams hurt right now, right? Mike Williams hurt. But also, see, Mike Williams, okay? These are all wide receivers on roster. Mike Williams in the going postal league. Mike Williams, DK Metcalf, Alan Lazard, Gabe Davis, Garrett Wilson, Josh Palmer, Miko Harmon, Dotson, and Josh Palmer. 9 freaking wide receivers. I'm telling you, anybody that knows me, I am not the type of guy to be rostering so many damn wide receivers. So I'm like, man, something's got to be done. Now, my other league, in the second league that I lost in, which is Sky's the Limit, that team is built for success right now, from week 11 moving forward. I'll explain why later, but let me just stick to this. I needed something here in this league. I needed a legitimate flex. I got tired of playing wide receivers at my flex. I needed a wide receiver. I needed something that with upside. So I went out there. I was going to offer this trade last week, but I couldn't offer the trade last week because I was playing the guy this week 10. I was playing him. So I couldn't offer the trade, because I didn't want to offer him nothing that he could potentially use against me, and he probably thought I could have used something against him. Probably both use those things against each other, and I would have profited 4 points, 3 points from it, based on their output in standard. But I say, what can I do? I have this. My other team's set up for flexes and everything else from top to bottom, outside of little, kinks, tight end and stuff. How can I fix this team? So I said, you know what? I went to this guy and I said, I'm gonna go ahead and offer this trade. I was gonna lowball him. I don't like to play those type of games. So I went ahead and I offered the wide receiver that I knew he snapped. He just quickly snapped accept. And he did. Again, guys, my top 5 wide receivers are can't say Mike Williams, but I'm gonna still put him up there because he's gonna come back. Mike Williams, DK Metcalf, Lazard, Gabe, and Garrett Wilson. Look at my ashy hands, man. See, that's a worker's man's hand right there. You don't see no lotion on that. That's a working man's hands. So Mike Williams, DK, Lazard, Gabe, and Garrett Wilson, right? I've been itching to play Garrett Wilson too, because in this league too, you get 100 yards, receive 100 yards or a rush, you get 3 extra points. I gotta get rid of one of these wide receivers. So I offered to get his. This makes me feel so freaking good. It really does. I offered him. I wanted his Rashard White, running back for Tampa, which they're on bye this week. I wanted Rashard White, which is going to be the starting running back now. Rashard White had a solid day, 20-some carries, and he's the number 1 in Tampa now. And they're on a bye week this week, so they're going to be like implementing him into that, not only starting role, but game planning for him and everything to go down the stretch, because he's the future of the team at the running back position. We all know that. That's why it's important to hit on those needle movers, those NMs throughout catching them before they take off. And it's tough sometimes because you don't want to keep the dead weight on your team. But I traded him in. He snap accepted. And I was excited. Before I ever had a chance to freaking even see it accepted it, somebody told me to joke and say, I vetoed it, One of my homeboys, Russ. Awesome trade, ain't it, Russ? I know it. So I got Rachaad White from Rachaad White for Tampa Bay, the running back. I'm putting him in my flex after this week. I'm taking it to the crib. But I offered him, and you'll see why he accepted, because he was strong at running back. He has actually Chubb, which is on. No, I played him and Chubb and Kamara. You know what I'm saying? So I beat the combo of Chubb and Kamara. Thanks to Jonathan Taylor, of course, but we're not gonna talk about that. So he has Chubb and Kamara, but he has no good wide receivers. So I threw him a wide receiver name, and he accepted, and gave me Rachaad White and I gave him DK Metcalf. Oh my God, DK Metcalf. Some people were kind of appalled by it a little bit, but then when I explained to them why I did it and what I already had, you got to think, if I'm going to be playing Jonathan Taylor and Dameon Pierce as my 2-star running backs, I'm going to play Rachaad White, I only have room for 2 wide receivers in this type of league. So my flexes will be Rachaad White after this week. So the beautiful part about it too is that Rachaad White and DK are both on bye, so it won't help us neither time. So that's kind of, I'd have still offered even if DK was playing, that'd just juice it up even more. But I'll be having 3 running backs in my lineup. Jonathan Taylor, Dameon Pierce, and I have Rachaad White starting next week in my flex, and I'll have Mike Williams will probably be back next week. They say he's gonna be practicing, him and Glass Boy over there. We'll see what happens to the other Glass Boy. But Lazard, Gabe, Garrett Wilson. I won't start another, but I have them between this week. I have, if Mike Wills don't play, now I still probably wouldn't play him. I'll play Lazard, Gabe, or Garrett Wilson in 2 of those 3 spots. So I have plenty of good options. So yeah, I gave up DK Metcalf to get Rachaad White, starting running back for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm excited about that, guys. And that was a trade I initiated, got it through, made the calls. Hey, what's his number? You know what I'm saying? This, that. Let them know I sent a trade out there, and everything's working out. So, man, I'm excited about that. Shit, man. Pat myself on the back, Flawless, man. You pat yourself on the back. Woo! Let me know how you guys think I did. Based on the scenario I gave you guys, because I didn't have any running back depth, and based on I had a whole bunch of wide receivers, how do you think I did? DK Metcalf, give it up DK Metcalf for Rachaad White. What do you guys think? Hit me in the comments, let me know. Give me your honest, constructive criticism. But you can't, I don't think you're going to say I did wrong, consider I have no depth at running back, and consider I had a boatload and beautiful options at wide receiver. Even the top 5 wide receivers, not the rest of those scrubs. Let's get into the freaking waiver wire. Start with the quarterbacks. To be very precise. See, the majority of this video was all about that trade because it was the most beautiful part of my early afternoon. 3 quarterbacks I'm going to talk about. Let's talk about Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones, he had 22 points against Houston. And week 11, he plays against Houston, then Detroit the next week after that. Has a nice matchup, nice floor. He's been throwing the ball around a little bit, kind of like playing pretty decent ball. He also has a nice ceiling, too. He can pop and get stupid and do a long run and stuff like that. So if you got quarterback issues, you can go slide and get Daniel Jones and have a nice 20-point floor. And guess what? That ain't too bad. I know a lot of people getting spoiled with the Josh Allen numbers or homeboy for freaking doggone Chicago. Look, man, they don't happen like that all the time now, so don't get too spoiled. So, Daniel Jones is a good player. Deshaun Watson's going to be coming back in a little bit. He's starting to practice, and he'll be slated to play Week 13 against Houston. How freaking convenient. He'll be coming back to play against Houston. Drama. Orchestrated shit. Josh Allen fumbling the ball on goal line. Get out of here. Jimmy Garoppolo is the 3rd quarterback. Jimmy G, I've been telling y'all this for weeks. Jimmy G gonna give you 20 points. He's gonna give you 20, 23 points. Tripping. He's had 20 or more fantasy points 5 straight weeks. Can't go wrong with Jimmy G. Can't go wrong. All right? And he plays at home against the Chargers. I believe it's Sunday night. I'm not sure if it's a primetime game or not. No, I'm not sure. But he played at home against the Chargers. Chargers don't have no resistance. So Jimmy G is a great play. You also heard about, they say, about Christian McCaffrey and Elijah Mitchell saying that they're going to split the workload evenly. And look, I don't have neither of the two, so I'm just a fan. But at the end of the day, that works well for me because you keep both of them fresh, and San Fran trying to get there. So good for them. All right, running backs. So the three quarterbacks are Daniel Jones, Deshaun Watson, and Garoppolo. Deshaun Watson is for later, but you shouldn't be waiting on that. Running backs, Rachaad White. Period, point blank. 22 for 105. Got a bye week 11. He's gonna be a freaking slammer down the freaking. He's gonna be crazy. He got Arizona and the Panthers week 16 and 17. So if you plan on making it to the championship game and in the playoffs, juice. Isaiah Pacheco, 16 for 82. There's no such thing as Clyde Edwards-Helaire anymore. Absolutely not. He's getting the rushes. He had a fumble. They brought him right back in. He kept toting. The dude's explosive. Week 15 and 16, he plays against the Texans and the Seahawks. Also plays against the week 11. He has a nice matchup as well. So, actually, I'm not sure about the Jimmy Garoppolo. Vet that when he playing against the Chargers. I'm not sure. No, KC played against the Chargers. So Garoppolo does not play against the Chargers. So check it out. But nevertheless, he's going to score 20 points. Watch. So just want to let you know that. So Kansas City actually plays against the Chargers. So Isaiah Pacheco is a great play. I have him in the league number 2. He will be in my flex. Brian Robinson, people probably have dropped him. 26 carry for 86 yards. Mind you, that's not even 3.5 yards a carry, guys. They made money on us on that one, right? They made money on us. We should have saw that crap coming. Congratulations to Washington Commanders for beating the Eagles. Ushered to beat the Eagles. But nevertheless, Brian Robinson, because he's been dropped, he has 17.5 point PPR points. He plays against Houston and Atlanta the next 2 weeks. That should be good for him. So, 3 running backs. Two needle movers, Rachaad White and Isaiah Pacheco, and a nice, guy to put in for the next couple of weeks at a flex, Brian Robinson playing at Houston and Atlanta. Wide receivers, say less. Christian Watson, 8 targets, 4 for 173, 30.5 point PPR points. Dude got snapped, went off. Here's the thing, as a Lazard owner and a Lazard endorser, I still feel great about Lazard. Diggs was on him the majority of the night outside of him moving around. But he was just too fast, so they just used him like that. And they should have. And Aaron Rodgers, Lazard needs somebody else out there to help him. Hell, Dobbs is over there helping him. He just can't be him by himself. So he's going to play a role. He's like a more souped up, young version of an baby MBS. But he's just not a straight line. Christian Watson, I hope he stays healthy. He's kind of glassy. You ought to know that, but I hope he stays healthy. For our Lazard stock stake. All right, now, Rondale Moore, Zach Ertz being out. Rondale Moore should get plenty of juice still. Paris Campbell, 3 TDs in the past 5 games. Kadarius Toney, he got all that Hardman juice because Hardman was out with the abs. He had 5 targets, 4 for 57 and a touchdown. Darius Slayton been balling out. He's had 2 TDs in the past 3 weeks. He's had 13, 9, and 17 half-point PPR the past 3 weeks. This week he plays Detroit. Nico Collins, he had 10 targets, went 5 for 49 in the TD. Here's what I like. I'm going to butcher his name. His name's Ben Skowronek. To me, he ain't nothing but baby Cooper Kupp. Because every time he catches the ball, you think it's Cooper Kupp. You number 18 and what Kupp was 10. He's going to be the main, in my opinion, he'd be the main beneficiary over there. Because it ain't going to be Allen Robinson. It's going to be the tight end and that dude right there. They're going to try to use him just like Cooper Kupp in the Cooper Kupp role. So he's somebody you can look at, Ben Skowronek, for the Rams. They got to throw the ball, right? So the wide receivers, Christian Watson, Rondale Moore, Paris Campbell, Kadarius Toney, but Miko might be coming back soon. Darius Slayton, Nico Collins. He's the man there. Other guys watching, so it's all over. And Ben Skowronek. Tight ends. Cole Kmet should not be out there. If it is, slap yourself. Cole Kmet has no business freaking being on waivers. I know some of you guys got good tight ends and stuff, but god damn, how many times freaking to do? 5 TDs in the past 3 weeks. Now plays against the Atlanta, Jets, and Green Bay before their week 14 bye. If you don't pick them up, somebody's going to end up picking them up and then using them against you. So we'll see. Cole Kmet, Hayden Hurst been dropped. I know I dropped him in the league. You're on the bye. I'm going to hold him through the bye. He has Pittsburgh, Tennessee, KC coming up. Tyler Higbee, he should have a uptick. I'll tell you somebody I like. It's Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson is the tight end number 8 for New Orleans. I'm going to tell you something. He's the man. He has 4 TDs in the past 4 games. He's very quiet. But he's the tight end 8, and he's been freaking balling. His past 4 games, he's had 17, 2, 11, and 13 half-point PPRs a game. I'm actually going to go out and try to pursue him. So, those are the tight ends. Cole Kmet, Hayden Hurst, Tyler Higbee, Juwan Johnson, in no particular order outside of Kmet being at the top. Defenses, you're looking at Ravens defense versus Carolina. Good old Baker's coming back. Have some pick sixes. Washington defense against Houston. Bengals, possibly Bengals defense against Pittsburgh, except Pittsburgh going to be at home. But one defense I love is Saints versus the Rams. Rams are decimated. No Cup. He got some, you know what I'm saying, he's going to be out of commission for a hot little minute. They say he's going to be doing some little procedure, tightrope procedure or something. I don't know how invasive that is, but he's going to be out 4 weeks, possibly 8, possibly shut him down for the rest of the season. Wouldn't be a surprise. Saints at home versus Rams should be a nice pickup. For kickers, Nick Folk, Robbie Gould, Graham Gano, Zerline, Joey Sly had 19 points against Philadelphia Eagles. Man, grab your kicker. Stay flawless. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think about this video. I am hyped. And I put off a nice trade. Like, comment, subscribe, stay fearless, stay flawless. Holla at your boy. Peace. Let's get in week 11, baby.